10 million zombies currently stand ready to launch a mass invasion against every fantasy army. The fantasy armies are holding a magical bridge fortress defense, and at the very end of the fortress, which you can see in the distance, is Princess Peach's castle. And we have all the fantasy armies from Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2, including Among Us, Clone Troopers from the Clone Wars, Pillagers from Minecraft, Koopa Troopas from Mario, as well as Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Tactical Soldiers from Marvel, Squirtle Squad, Raynor Marines from StarCraft 2, Lego Black Falcon Knights, Space Wolves from Warhammer 40k, UNSC Marines from Halo, as well as incoming reinforcements that are set to charge the zombies, the Knights of Rohan from Lord of the Rings, and the final stand defense back at Princess Peach's castle is going to be the Guards of Whiterun from Skyrim, aka the Elder Scrolls, and Fallout Brotherhood of Steel Power Armor Soldiers, baby! Bethesda is taking up the rear. Can every fantasy army in UEBS 2 hold versus 10 million zombies? Or will they lose the bridge and the very fate of humanity's biggest IPs ever? And here we go. The zombies are full charging forward against the Among Us yellow boys here, eating away at them. These Among Us soldiers are not fantastic. They've got like 300 health. They could probably kill a few zombies, but maybe not a ton. On the left flank of them over here is some of the war zombies. And straight in front of them should be, yes, some burned zombies. There's also fast runner zombies on the right side, and further back is going to be some toxic zombies, some ill zombies, alien zombies, as well as the ferocious military zombies. So a lot of zombie variety coming up against all of these different fantasy armies that are holding the Cow Bridge. This is such a funny bridge. I feel like it's very fitting for an every fantasy army battle. Either way, over here, protecting the Pug of Fate, super strange, is the 332nd Clone Trooper Legion, Ahsoka's boys. And these guys do have really good fire rate and really good damage, but the main drawback for them is the fact that they have very little health. They're not the strongest of the Clone Trooper units, but as you can see, they are mowing down a number of these military zombies and helping out these Among Us units, who are also helping them out by blockading a lot of the zombies from reaching the 332nd over this way. So that's very nice. Over this way is a different story, though. The fast runner zombies are getting up here, and they're getting up here quick, man. Look at this, overrunning a huge number of the Among Us troopers here, as well as the 332nd. Now the Pillagers are starting to get into the fray. Their crossbows firing away, and you can see the arrows, or rather bolts, because they are crossbows, striking a number of the zombies. Now, the Pillagers are actually a very interesting unit. I believe they have like 2,000 health? 2,500. They've got 2,500 health. So, flint and steel. Chicken jockey. No, these guys are super strong in terms of health. Not super strong in terms of damage, but what it means is they could last a very long time against a lot of these zombies, and there's obviously quite a number of them before you get to the Koopa Troopas. Now, a lot of these range units back here are actually firing away already. By the way, Knights of Rohan starting to charge forward. Might as well be like in the Two Towers, where Gandalf leads them in to save Helm's Deep. That's what's happening here, but with fantasy armies. We've got Raynor over here, as well as UNSC Marines firing away. Space Wolves don't seem to have the range for it just yet. But then we've also got these tactical Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. soldiers. I've actually never seen these troopers before, but they come in the Marvel mod in the Steam Workshop if you want to check them out. I've watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like the TV show. It's pretty good. Got a little bit boring towards the end and a little bit jumped the shark, in my opinion. But never saw these guys come up. So they might be from comic books or extended universe, something like that. Not necessarily the MCU, but they look pretty sweet, and they've clearly got some good range to them. So all of those range units are pouring fire out here against the zombies. A lot of it's going over their heads, but some of it might be arcing down and actually hitting some of these zombies as well. Now, the Among Us troopers are dead, which is paving the way for the zombies to get into the 332nd troopers over this way. That's not very good. They're probably going to die fairly soon, but hopefully they got a decent number of kills on the battlefield before they died here. The Among Us units are all but extinct now. Actually, the center is doing surprisingly well. The flank got completely kapuyad out of proportion here, and these guys are next. These guys are next, sadly. Hopefully the pillagers can do good things here. Also, we've got these guys up on the walls of the bridge, which could help a smidge for sure, because you know, they probably won't die right away. These fellas up here, the zombies can get to them, but they have to glitch their way up, which doesn't happen very often. And so, yeah, these guys could just last the entire battle firing away until the zombies fully, you know, train their sights on them and start really devouring them. Either way, the 332nd is putting up a good final stand. Clearly some body piles forming over here, but I don't think they're necessarily going to be around for much longer. I hate to say it, but they're a dying breed, and the Clone Wars, aka Star Wars, is going to be knocked out of this battle, and we will have to rely on the other fantasy armies to succeed, which is just so sad. Pillagers, though, still holding their own, and I think they will hold for quite some time here. I think they've got the stuff to maybe make some magic happen. Look at this. Good kills, boys. Good kills. We're up to 103,000 dead zombies, according to the number of kills. Again, if you guys have seen these videos in the past, you will know that the kill count is not always accurate because of explosive damage, crunch damage, and a number of other factors. So that kill count's not quite accurate. The more accurate thing is the troops remaining. So we have 9.27 million zombies remaining and 145,000 fantasy army units remaining. Pretty insane stuff. Why don't we go ahead and watch the zombies death charging into these pillagers with their crossbows, and hopefully they can start really stopping the zombies. This is the first major high health unit we have, so could slow the zombies down considerably. What's up, gamers? I'm here to tell you about Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is an amazing place where you can get some fire deals on all sorts of video games. Seriously, it's like 60 to 95% off, as you can see here. These are all of the Star Wars titles they have. They literally have every Star Wars title. You can also get XCOM here, Men of War Assault Squad 2. All of the games I play on the channel you can buy here for extremely cheap prices. If you use my affiliate link in the description, it helps me out a ton. So thank you guys for listening to this sponsorship, and thank you to Instant Gaming for continuing to sponsor the channel. Well, boys, the zombies have pushed back these pillagers. However, the Knights of Rohan have finally made it to the front. You can actually see the little tunnels they're digging in the pillagers here. Kind of stacking all the pillagers into a cramped, tight space and shoving them around. That's not very nice. And the Koopa Troopas. And I'm guessing everyone else is also getting the same treatment as these Knights of Rohan push through. My goodness, but the counterattack is occurring, and it looks like it's actually keeping a lot of these zombies at bay. Now, obviously, the Knights of Rohan is not going to be able to clear all of the zombies out and destroy them all, but the fact that they are basically buying time for the ranged units to get more kills is always very nice. It's always a very good thing for the battlefield. We are down to 9.1 million zombies and 136,000 remaining fantasy army defenders. So things are progressing, maybe not quite as nicely as we would like, but maybe this Knights of Rohan counterattack will really help us out here. The fact that they're running on forward and getting kills, distracting, and we can still see arrows flying through the air, even though many of them arching overhead. They'll eventually land on zombies way back there, so that doesn't matter. They must be getting some collateral damage in there. Plus, we do still have weapons being fired from Raynor Marines and things like that, so that's also pretty helpful and potentially getting some good kills around here. I think overall, this stall tactic will be quite nice. Although, every once in a while, the Knights of Rohan fail, and all of a sudden, the zombies start pushing through to the pillagers and actually getting some kills, but it looks like more Rohan reinforcements have arrived and will hopefully start pushing out and helping those pillagers against the zombies. It's going to be a little bit of a back and forth on this body pile, I think, for a while. So why don't we watch that happen in fast motion here? Alright boys, 31 minutes later, and the Knights of Rohan are still at it. Look at this. They really have just been building a huge body pile at the front of the bridge here. My gubernatorial, that's crazy. Oh, what is this? What are you guys doing? Oh, some random toxic zombies just got slaughtered by, like, I don't know, like 1,000 of these guys? That seems a little overkill, fellas. I don't know if you all need to be going over there. That's kind of crazy. But you can see so many more are still heading to the front lines to continue attacking these guys. I'm just going to let this ride for a bit because I know we're going to be doing more time lapses later in this video. And I don't want to use up all of our storage space, but if anything interesting happens or, you know, the Knights of Rohan fail, I will start immediately again. But we're at 8.7 million zombies remaining, so 1.3 milli have died, and 94,000 fantasy army units, and apparently 99,000 have died of them. Wowza. Alright boys, it's been just over 20 minutes now, and the Knights of Rohan are now really trickling in. There's still a lot back here, but they're kind of getting distracted for the most part, so that's not helping them out. And the pillagers up here are starting to lose. You can see that the body pile has pushed further and further down. We also see a number of pillagers getting killed a little bit more quickly here without those Knights of Rohan helping them out. So that's definitely a bit of a problem. Now, there are 500,000 military zombies on the battlefield, and we've gotten better at balancing these military zombies, so I do feel more comfortable putting them on the battlefield. Like the last UEBS 2 battle we did, the military zombies, they lost. So, you know, I think that these units in particular can be balanced out a lot better now, especially with stronger mods in general. What's interesting in these walls are actually getting attacked wholeheartedly now due to the fact that the zombies can just bridge up to them. So those guys might not actually end up lasting till the very bitter end. Now, as for the Koopas, they're going to do even worse, I think, than the Pillagers. Yeah, because they only have 400 health, so I think we're going to see a blitzkrieg through the Koopas, and then the shield units from Marvel only have 300 health, so they're pretty weak too. But the Squirtles are very powerful. 10,000 health, and they have a really good melee attack. It's a water attack. How did Lego Men die? Oh, they might have all gotten pushed together, and Entity crushed each other from the Knights of Rohan. Oh, there's also some dead Knights of Rohan over here. That must have been what happened, because I don't see any zombies around, so I think they all entity crushed each other. Well, hopefully some zombies are entity crushing as well to balance it out. Either way, the ranged unit's still ranging, which is good to see. We've got 8.5 million zombies remaining, so about 1.5 million have died, and 73,000 Fantasy Army units remain as well. Let's watch the zombies go through the pillagers, through the Koopas as well, because I think it'll happen pretty quick now. Okay, boys, it actually looks like the zombies are somewhat getting stopped. The Knights of Rohan are running out there and distracting a ton of these zombies before they can get to the rest of the Koopa Troopas. And on top of that, we've got really good output fire from ranged units back here still, and a ton of Knights of Rohan actually still left alive. So this could go on for quite some time if the Fantasy Army units are lucky, but you know, they're not always all that lucky, and these zombies might just pile drive their way through some more Koopa Troopas. We just don't know yet. The guys on the side of the walls here, all the villagers are dead, except for a few over this way. But the Koopa Troopas are still up there, but they're not ranged, so them being up here, well, that just kind of sucks. It's not going to be super duper helpful, I must say. There's also still roaming Knights of Rohan, and they're falling off the cliff into the water. Bro, you guys are idiots. At least some zombies are too. Look at these guys. Just sliding down. But like, this is so many knights dying for really no good reason. Tragic. They're not even dead when they slide down like this. They're dead when they slide down flat. This is them falling off. Oh, such a waste. Such a waste. It's a dang shame, boys. It's a dang shame. Either way, let's continue to watch over here. We've got 8.2 milli zombies left and 50,000 Fantasy Army units left. Okay, lads, 30 minutes later, and the zombies have made some good progress, but look at this body pile building up on the bridge there. Very impressive. So the defenders clearly getting more accurate with their shots as the zombies get closer and closer here. The Squirtle's not even involved yet, although there's already some dead. These guys definitely died due to crush from the Knights of Rohan. And I don't even see any more Knights of Rohan. I think they're all dead now. Another Fantasy Army bites at us. Wait, nope, there's one floating here. Crazy. A couple zombies are coming on down, but, oh, Raynor Marines, a couple of them died here. Might have been from Crush or might have been from zombies, not totally sure. Space Wolves helping out, though, a little bit and managing to gun them down and prevent them from getting to those Raynor Marines over that way. So that's good. Koopa Troopas, not too many left. Do have a Squirtle way up here. Look at that. Fan-freaking-tastic, baby. Get some kills, boy. Very nice. Very nice. And then, of course, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. backed up by Raynor Marines. UNSC Marines still firing, as well as some of the Space Wolves might be able to fire decently soon. Hopefully. Maybe. We'll find out. Alright, let's continue to watch. 7.6 million zombies remain, so 2.5 million have died, and 28,000 remaining Fantasy Army units, but these are definitely the strongest of the Fantasy Army units at this point. "20 minutes later, and the zombies have already pushed through here too. Now they're coming to the other side of the bridge. They killed the Spartans, bro. RIP. Brother. Okay, so this is not very good now. This is not very cash money. Space Wolves and UNSC Marines now firing away, so hopefully they can big time butcher some of these guys, but if not, we're gonna be in for some serious problems here. I guess let's find out. 30 minutes later, and they do still be holding this time. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Big plays. Still 7 million zombies remaining, which is kind of insane, as well as 21,700 remaining Fantasy Army units. Seems like the UNSC, as well as the Space Marines over here, are doing a very nice job of holding back the enemy, for now, at the very least. Now, it is 1 a.m., so I'm going to go to bed, but in about 7 hours, we will find out what has happened overnight. I will go in slow-mo here, so not the entire battle will be donezo, but for you guys, it'll be just an instant. For me, it'll be slipper time. Oh, hot dang, boys! It is now 8 a.m. I slept in a little bit, but we still are holding the bridgehead here with zombies pouring over. The Lego Knights still holding, and the boys in the back still providing very nice cover fire. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. UNSC Marines over here also spamming out some good fire. Some of that good fuego going on. Love to see it. And of course, you know, you gotta remember, we've still got the Bethesda boys back here. We've got the Whiterun guards. Actually, I think these are just Whiterun soldiers, not guards. The guards look a little different. And the Brotherhood of Steel Fallout power armor. So I think we might be in a holding pattern. Definitely could be. Let's go ahead and time-lapse a little bit here, and hopefully they can continue to hold. There's still 6.2 million zombies, so the slow-mo did go pretty slow. But at the very least, you know, they're still holding. I think potentially we could see a victory at this point in the bridge, but you never really do know, I guess. A lot of things could change. Right, lads, half an hour later, and these guys are still just straight up holding the bridge. Hold the door. We're at 5.7 million zombies remaining, so I think another like half a milli ended up dying right there, but this could be the final holdout we see. I don't know. More Lego soldiers are dying in the frontier. There's only 16,958 defenders left alive at this point. But, I mean, these guys back here aren't even getting touched. They're good. How much health do these guys have? 1,500, nothing too crazy. The Space Wolves have 8k. I mean, they're Space Marines. Of course they're going to have a lot of health. So why don't we go ahead and just let this ride for a bit, because it's getting to be a long battle. Oh, over here might be the best case scenario for the zombies. This flank, actually. Zombies are making it over here. That could be where the breaking point is. But yeah, let's just let this ride. Right, boys, it's been a while longer now, and there's 4 million zombies remaining, it looks like. They are getting in and actually getting a couple kills on some of these Space Wolves over here. The spacing of them actually might be assisting them, though, because they're a little bit farther in, more in between. Not everyone's going to be able to get attacked by the same zombie sort of a thing. So they have to, you know, run, hit a zombie, and then if they kill him, or run, hit a Space Wolf, and then if they kill him, run to the next Space Wolf. So that actually might be working to their advantage. Looks like actually over here, UNSC Marines also taking some damage, maybe even more damage. That's crazy. Yeah, look at that. Zombies getting in there and whacking them a good bit. So we got 16,276 of the defenders left and 4 million zombies. So this actually could have the potential for a zombie comeback here, since they are doing damage to these guys. So let's time-lapse and watch the UNSC Marines getting picked off little bit by little bit. Oh no! 20 minutes later, and the UNSC Marines are dead over here. Over here, they're still doing okay, but yikes! That's not good, my dudes. That is very bad, and not a very good time. Also, a lot of the Space Marines in the middle section over here are dead too. Yikes! This area is still doing okay though. The dead center is doing all right, but the flanks most certainly are not at the moment, which is no bueno. That is not very good. 3.6 million zombies remain. Let's watch. Bruh, my freaking cat sat on the mouse and moved it. We missed the entire part of that Space Wolves fight. Reina. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I guess the Space Wolves died, and now it's the Fallout Brotherhood of Steel and the Whiterun soldiers back here defending. Okie dokie then. So, I do apologize, we missed the entire last part of that fight there, but I don't know. Reina just had to sit on top of the mouse. Okay, Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, losing a couple soldiers in the corner there. Right side's doing perfectly fine, and the middle's also doing perfectly fine. So this side, obviously, the weaker part of the battlefield, could result in some more losses. 3.3 million remaining zombies. Let's see if the Brotherhood can hold here, or if they will end up going down. We'll watch the corner, because that seems to be the hot spot right now. Oh, and there we have it. The zombies do take the W today. They took a big L yesterday, but today they're taking the W with 3 million zombies remaining. All of the Fantasy Army units are dead. They killed 7 million zombies, most of which on the bridge itself over here, but just was not enough. Look at this body pile, though. That is crazy. This was a solid 12-hour battle, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.